John Colo at DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. And once again, I'm here on the channel. I'm going to compare two juicers against each other so that you guys could find out which one would be the best one for you to purchase, right? Before I go on, I want to let you guys know that I have over 500 episodes on this YouTube channel comparing and contrasting all the different major brand juicers so that you guys can get the best one. You know, as well as in all the videos I make juice, and all the videos that I make juice, I drink the juice because I am on a juicing diet. You know, this is something that has helped me immensely, and I believe that juicing is something everybody should do because it allows you to increase the amount of fresh fruits and, more importantly, the fresh vegetables and leafy greens than you would otherwise eat in their most digestible and easy to assimilate form, you know, by removing some but not all of the fiber. If you guys appreciate my videos, the comparisons, the work I do, you know, preparing, weighing, and doing all this stuff so that you guys can select the right juicer, I would encourage you guys to support me in my work so I can continue to make these educational videos that I enjoy so much, and then also hopefully you have benefited from by making your purchase at DiscountJuicers.com. This allows me to continue to pay my light bill, make my videos, buy my produce so I can continue my life and, you know, continue to make these videos to help people choose the right machine. You know, I was in the situation maybe over 25 years ago now where I had to buy the right juicer, and unfortunately there wasn't me back then making videos. I just, you know, I bought any old juicer and it maybe wasn't the best one that I should have gotten back then. But, you know, time moves on and now we have YouTube, so now I'm able to make these videos. So I appreciate you guys, for those of you guys that have supported me and in the past, and appreciate you guys, and thank you guys for those of you guys that will support me in the future so I continue my mission and my work to basically spread the knowledge about the power of the fruits and vegetables as well as the machines that allow you to eat more of them. In any case, today's video is we will be comparing two twin gear juicers. So we have the Green Star Pro over on this side. Green Star Pro, it is also basically just about the same as the Green Star Elite, although the Pro, that's basically the higher end model, has stainless steel gears and has 3 years longer on the warranty. There's about 10 things different between the Pro and the Elite model that is, you know, several $100s less. You know, I personally think the Pro is a much better value and deal because of the extra 3 years on the warranty. Although if you cannot afford the Pro, then go for the Elite. It's still a great machine. It just has a few differences. I'll post a link down below to a video I made comparing the difference between the Pro and the Elite. And then over on this side we have the Green Power Kempo KPE-1304. This is another twin gear juicer. And so, I mean, there's a long and convoluted story about twin gear juicers. Basically, the first twin gear juicer was the predecessor to this, called the Green Power Gold juicer. And then basically, over time, the Green Power Gold got morphed into this, and some things happened over in Korea, and basically the company separated ways. And basically what happened was, you know, some owners made a new twin gear, basically based on the old one, but without breaking any kind of the patents on the old one, and they basically had to change it significantly, and that's how this machine came out. And so is this machine better or worse than the larger Big Brother? That was really the first one that came out. Well, we will see in this episode. I will say in a test I did many years ago, before I was making videos, I tested celery, even amounts of celery in both these machines, and basically they made the same exact yield. And in this case, because celery is such the thing, and I haven't drank my celery juice this morning, I'll be making celery juice and juicing the exact same amount of celery in both machines, and I would expect that, you know, both these machines should make about a similar, you know, yield of celery. The reasons why I like the twin gear juicers are a few. Number one is, in general, on the hard vegetables, whether that's carrots or things like celery, these machines yield the highest quantity of juice of any slow juicer. And then the other thing is that they get a very high nutrition quality, you know, as studied and tested in third-party testing. So the next thing I want to say is that the technology used in the Green Star Pro, the Green Star Elite, and the original Green Star juicers, you know, have been proven that they contain and will hold the nutrients for up to 3 days, you know, with minimal degradation. You know, other juicer companies have basically latched on and said, hey, our juicer is a slow juicer, or our juicer is a twin gear juicer. Because of this, our juice will also last 3 days. And, you know, that basically they're just copying the data from the original company here, the Green Star, you know, juicer line. So if you really want to ensure you have the most nutritious juice, then you want to probably go with the original, because I haven't seen any data to let me know otherwise. That being said, these are both low-speed, cold press juicers in my opinion, because literally they grind up and press out the juice. It's going to be a lot higher quality juice than a high-speed machine, or even a two-stage grinding and pressing machine such as a Norwalk or a Pure juicer. If I remember, I'll post a link down below to a video where I actually compared this very green Star Pro against the Pure juicer. Links down below, and basically in that test I found out that the Pure juicer tends to oxidize the juice a lot more. So to me, the main benefit of the juices are, number one, it basically extracts the nutrition out of the vegetables, including the phytonutrients, which in my opinion are the most important. Second most important are probably the minerals that are most important, and the trace minerals that maybe we're not getting from eating processed foods and junk foods and all these things. And depending on the juice extraction method, it's going to keep higher levels of these phytochemicals and phytonutrients and or minerals. So like in general, in my opinion, the better the machine is at grinding up and breaking open the cell walls, the more able it is to extract the different phytonutrients as well as the minerals. If the machine doesn't grind up things as well, like some single auger slow juicers, they don't grind up things as well, right? They will not extract as much nutrition. And that's just my personal belief, opinion, and based on testing that I've done in the past. For example, I use this very juicer here, juicing cucumbers, which it actually won out of the other juicers that were used, a vertical single auger, horizontal single auger, and a high-speed machine. It made really the darkest juice, and that's telling me that it's really pulling out the most phytonutrients as well as the grinding system in here to pull out the most nutrients. So if you guys are really wanting the most nutritious juice, a twin gear juicer is probably where you should head. That being said, as much as I like twin gear juicers for pulling out the most nutrition in the juice and getting a high yield on hard vegetables as well as celery, if you want to juice wheatgrass, these machines of course will juice wheatgrass or leafy greens. That being said, if you're juicing straight leafy greens or straight wheatgrass, these machines tend to produce more foam due to the way they operate. When juicing them alone. Now, if you juice leafy greens with your carrots and wheatgrass with your carrots, and put some carrots and wheatgrass and leafy greens and some carrots and some apples, some cucumber, and rotate the different ingredients, you're not really going to notice any significant foam increase more than other style juices. It's only when you juice the the leafy greens straight. The next thing I'll talk about is the fruits. So this is not the machine I would recommend if you want to juice straight fruits. John, I just want to make pineapple juice. Don't use this machine or it's going to upset you a little bit, I'll put it mildly. I've tried to juice pineapple in this machine and the pineapple's so soft, and this machine really, it works the best at the hard vegetables, and the problem is the texture of fruits and vegetables could vary widely. So if you have something like a hard texture like ginger or turmeric, this is probably the best machine. If you have something soft texture like pineapple that you can almost squeeze the pineapple and squeeze the juice out of, this may not be the best machine. Of course, some things will juice better than others. I'll put a link down below to where I actually use this machine to try to juice some fruits. You guys can see how that works. That being said, that's if you're trying to juice straight fruits. If you're juicing fruits with vegetables, like put a carrot in, then put an apple, or put a piece of pineapple, then put a carrot, put a piece of pineapple in there, it's going to work beautifully. So the main thing is, in general, I would encourage you guys to juice more vegetables, especially leafy green vegetables, than fruits. Personally, the only reason, in my opinion, you should be adding fruits to your juices is so that you can actually take them in, so that they taste good to you. Because I know some people just can't drink straight kale juice. But kale with pineapple, it tastes amazing, and most people can stomach that because the sweetness of the pineapple cuts out the hardcore flavor of the kale. So that's pretty much it. Anyways, let's get into this comparison. These are both twin gear juicers. Of course, the Green Star Elite and Pro cost more than the Green Power KPE-1304, or also known as the Kempo juicer. So that's one price consideration. The other thing is the size consideration, right? This guy is American size, in my opinion. This is more Asian size, because it's a little bit smaller. Now, does a size, is bigger better? In some ways, yes. In some ways, no, right? And we'll show this when we take the machines apart. I want to briefly talk about the motor inside the machines here. The motor inside this machine is like a 190 watt motor, fan cooled, so it's going to stay a lot cooler, not overheat as much, whereas this machine has a 150 watt motor, you know, without the fan cooling, so it may tend to overheat if you're trying to like do large juice batches. So if you're going to be on like a Gerson therapy program or trying to juice a lot of produce, you know, then you want to get the Pro. I mean, this is after all the Pro model, and it's certified for commercial use in juice bars if you want to do so. So it's going to put up with a lot more abuse in my opinion. So yeah, more heavy duty motor. It's also heavier. It weighs a lot heavier than this guy, which is still fairly heavy for its size. This also machine has a 15-year warranty or the 12-year warranty for the Elite, 15 years on the Pro, whereas this guy only has a 10-year warranty, which is still, you know, a nice long warranty for a juicer. I would discourage you guys from purchasing a juicer with a short 90-day or 1-year warranty because, in my opinion, those machines are disposable machines. You know, and Tribest has been around for a long time, supporting customers over, I think, 30 years now. Time flies when you're having fun. To support all my customers, I've had only good feedback from my customers that I've sent to that have had issues with their Tribest equipment. Likewise, the Green Power KPE-1304 has a good service and track record behind it for getting warranty service should you need it in the United States. So yeah, we went over the warranties, the size. Oh, okay, let's talk about the speed. So the RPMs on the Green Star Pro are 110 RPMs. That means revolutions per minute. That's how fast the gears spin around. And then over on this guy, the KPE-1304 gears run at 160 RPMs. John, this one's 50 RPMs lower. Does that mean this one's better? Well, it means it's running slower in general, in my opinion. The slower the running of the gears, then you're gonna have less oxidative damage. But these, in my opinion, are both slow juicers, and with 50 RPMs going to make any significant difference? In my opinion, I don't think so. All right, but the other thing is that, you know, both these machines have the same feed chutes, and with that, let's just go ahead and start disassembling these machines to show you guys how they look. This is basically, both these kind of have a similar design. This top just pops off here, and these are basically just the feed, the housing. Pretty much you don't have to clean it except for the funnel area, but basically once you put this on, it's lined in here, so nothing really gets dirty inside here. This usually just is washed out with a quick rinse. Inside here, I mean, this is basically how they look. The feed chutes are basically the same size on both machines. Next, we got the outlet adjusting knobs, so let's go ahead and pull those off. And basically the outlet adjusting knobs is basically used to keep the pulp inside the machine. Let's switch these around on the right sides. Keep the pulp inside the machine and not allow it to come out until it's dry. So there's a spring tension in here that basically, as the pulp comes out, if the pulp's wet, it doesn't allow the pulp to come out because it's still wet. But if the pulp's dry, then the pulp will basically put tension on the spring to let the pulp come out, and that's one of the reasons why this machine is more efficient than others, because most other machines actually don't have some kind of spring tensioner to keep the pulp inside. This could also be a challenge if you're juicing something soft like fruits, which means there's going to be too much spring tension and soft fruit pulp can't push the spring out, so then you're going to have to loosen this a little bit. Or on the Green Star Pro anyways, they have what's called a fruit attachment, which basically has a softer spring tension. Both these parts are pretty much the same to clean. Next we have the some of the housing pieces coming out, and so on the KPE-1304 you basically just slide this off, and on the Green Star Pro you have these latch clip arms. I kind of like the latch clips arms. It seemed a little bit to me more stable, whereas on this guy, when you put this top housing down, there's two little prongs that basically lock this whole, you know, assembly together. And basically these parts, if you look at them, they're pretty close. They both have, like, you know, some whatever threads on the top to put in the outlet adjusting knob, and they both have a little spout where the pulp comes down. They're both made out of the nylon material that's BPA free, and I mean, they basically has places underneath them where the juice drips out. I mean, basically for all practical purposes, these are like the same exact parts. One's just a lot smaller. So, you know, the thing I like to say on these is that I like the Green Star Pro a little bit more, just because it's going to be a lot easier to clean. There's, like, you know, it's a lot larger to get your fingers into, get the brushes into. This is a lot smaller to get get it in there and then clean all the little nooks and crannies, because there are some nooks and crannies in these machines, and in my opinion that's one of the the downsides of these machines. Next we got the screen coming out. So I like on the Green Star Pro you have a separate screen that easily comes out, but on the KPE-1304 you have basically a feed chute with the built-in screen. So I guess first we're going to cover the screen. So the first thing I want to let you guys know is I want you guys to look at the screen area. The screen area is quite important because the screen area is basically where the juice has an opportunity to come out of the machine and go into your collection cup or your glass. And so, the screen area on the Pro model or the standard size twin gear juicers, in my opinion, I mean, this is just a rough guide. I'm going to say it's at least twice as much, if not more, just because these screens are quite small. I mean, I could just put this one side of the screen, could maybe do like one half of this screen, and so both of these is maybe like one whole side, then you still have the whole other side, so like that's like 50% more screen area minimally. It's probably more like 60% or something, 70%. So you have more chances for the juice to get out. But at the flip side, this also means you have more to clean. Luckily, the Green Star Pro does come with a scraper blade that you should use after you're done using the machine to basically dislodge the pulp out of the screen, because pulp will get stuck in the holes, and then you can use the brush to clean it off the rest of the way. So both screens made out of the stainless steel screen material with a nylon framing. I guess next we're going to go ahead and pull off this next part here, because that's the next part that's kind of similar. So that's these two parts. So both of these feed chutes, if we put them next to each other, I mean actually they're about the same exact size. So the feed chute size is exactly the same. That being said, as you guys can see, the passageways in these machines are different. The passageways in this machine are a lot larger, so once again, in my opinion, that's a lot easier to get in there and clean. Whereas the passageways are nice and small inside here, a lot more difficult to get in there and clean, although they do provide you some brushes to get in there and clean that. So yeah, other than that, I can't really say anything else about these two. I can say that on the Green Star Pro, there's a gasket actually on this that goes inside the motor housing, and on the twin gear machines, always on the motor housing, there will be pulp left over. This is totally normal. Whereas on the KPE-1304, there is no gasket on here, but the gasket is actually built in to the motor body, so that's not really any major significant difference. Next, this is where the main difference arises. This is the twin gears. And these are the difference in the twin gears. So once again, I have the Green Star Pro twin gears, 100% stainless steel. If I was pulling out the gears on the Green Star Elite, it would be also it would look similar to this and have some plastic in there. But the gear size would still remain the same at the large size. And so this is the difference. I mean, basically the cut on the gears are both kind of similar on these, a little bit different. They both have like the pocket recessed teeth and these little insets in here that are good for cutting celery strings. But basically, here's the thing, right? On these gears, you put the produce in, and this whole section of the gear is for grinding. It literally grinds up the produce at low speed, breaks open the cell walls, fairly efficient at doing that. And then the produce works its way down the gear, and then you get into the second stage, which is basically the pressing stage. So this section of the gears, once the produce gets in here, it basically wrings out or presses out the juice, which then flows through the screen, which then goes into your cup. And so same thing on this guy. You basically have the grinding stage and then the mixing and pressing stage here, and it's significantly longer. As you guys could see, I don't know the percentage. That's not good to drop the gears. I don't know the percentage and length of the gears, but in my opinion, this, because you have a lot larger grinding step, you're going to basically get better ground up produce, and you have a lot larger pressing step. In general, you should get a higher yield, but that may not be the case, and it also depends on what specifically you're juicing. So as you guys, and the other thing I want to mention is on these gears, inside the gears of the Green Star Pro, they have actually a magnetic and far infrared technology that is said to help pull out more nutrients in the juice. My personal belief is that I don't believe this could hurt the juice. I think it can only help if it actually does do anything. And once again, I haven't seen any studies between these two machines comparing nutritional content, or if this machine has more minerals because of the ceramic and magnetics inside the gears. That being said, this machine also wanted to have that similar process, so they can't put it in the gears because that would have been a violation of probably a patent or something. So actually in the collection cup of the Green Power Kempo, in the bottom, you guys can see there's some magnets in there, so this is like, I guess, supposed to duplicate what's inside the gears, and I'm not sure exactly if it duplicates it identically or fairly similar or not. Probably having the magnets inside the juice, probably better in the juice catch cup, probably better than not, but it could just be a gimmick as well. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the machines, the disassembly. I guess let's go ahead and reassemble. So it really is easy to assemble both these machines. The main thing I want you guys to pay attention to is when you have the gears, on the back of the gears there's a little dot. So I don't know if you guys can see the dot. There's 2 dots on this guy and 1 dot on this guy. And you basically need to line up the dots. This is a critical step because if you do not line up the dots, then the gears may clash and they're not going to be spinning at the right time, and you may have problems. So you basically want to make a triangle out of dots. I don't know if you guys can see that. And so it looks like we got a triangle on the dots. We're going to go ahead and put the feed chute on right there. And then we're just going to go ahead and stick these gears in. Sometimes you have to rotate them as you put them in so that they fully seat back. Then we're going to go ahead and put the juicing screen on there. We're going to put the outlet casing on there, and we're just going to basically put these snap levers on, snap those right back. We're going to put the outlet adjusting knob. I always encourage you guys to screw in the outlet adjusting knob all the way tight. This is going to put the most back pressure when you are juicing hard vegetables as well as things like celery. Meanwhile, on the KPE-1304 assembly, super simple, super easy. First, we're going to get the gears. Once again, then we got a red dot, 2 red dots on one gear and 1 red dot on the other. We're going to put those together so they make a little triangle. And we're going to go ahead and put these gears inside the machine. Then we're going to put the feed chute housing with the screen, just slide that right on back. We're going to go ahead and put the outlet casing right on there. And we're going to screw in the outlet adjusting knob. So these guys are super simple, super easy to assemble. And then finally, we're going to just go ahead and put the top casing on. And we got to lock this thing into the lock position. Whereas on this guy, you just basically take the top, you slide it down, and then it clicks to lock it in place. And then we're basically set up and all ready to juice. So what I want to do next, we're going to go ahead and get some celery, weigh it out, make sure we have an even fight, and we're just going to juice celery in both machines. We're going to time it. We're also going to check the yields as well as check how much pulp was created and all this kind of stuff. So let's do it. Alright, so now we got the celery all weighed out and ready to go, and I want to go ahead and do a weigh-in so that make sure that we have a fair fight. Alright, so here is the celery we have on both scales. Looks like we have 1.97 celery on the Green Star Pro side, 1.97 pounds of celery in the Green Power KPE-1304 side. So 1.97 both sides. Let's get ready to juice. Alright, so let's go ahead and move these scales out the way and let's get juicing. So I think what I want to do for you guys today is we're going to go ahead and time how long it takes to juice in each of the machines. Because we are using a twin gear machine, one of the things I like about the twin gear machines is that you do not have to pre-cut your celery in the little small bits. In addition, it's going to make a high yield on the celery compared to other style juicers, which is important, especially when you're buying celery for the medical medium juicing program, and it's like $2 a head. You want to make sure you get the most yield out of it. So anyways, the other thing, you will need to use the pusher on these machines to push the produce items in. I do only like to use the wood pusher, and both these machines come with a wooden pusher. Alright, so I guess we're going to go ahead and we're going to juice in the Green Star Pro. First, let's go ahead and set this up over here for you guys. Let's go ahead and hit the start, turn it on. And we're just basically feed celery in one piece after the other. And on some levels, it almost sucks itself in. Look at that, just sucking itself in. I'm not even having to push it in. I'm feeding the thin side down. As you guys can see, some juices coming out of where the pulp should come out of. This is normal. Wow, look at that. It's almost starting to feed itself in itself. And then I'm just going to go ahead and push the rest of the way. Alright, so in order to save you guys some time, we're just going to go ahead and speed this up, play some music for you, and I'm going to come back when it's pretty much done. Alright, so we're down to the last piece of celery that I'll be juicing today. And if I look down the feed chute, I see a little bit of celery kind of hanging up at the top of the twin gears. Although if I just push it in a little bit, it just goes in, and that last piece of celery, man, this stuff, it almost auto-feeds itself. Now once you put that last piece of celery in, don't just instantly turn off the machine. You know, the machine is still running, it's still kind of like extracting the juice. If the pulp is still flowing, it's still dripping out. That being said, one of the cool things about the Green Star Pro and Green Power juicers is that once you're done juicing, you can take all the celery that came out and you can put it back through the machine to wring it out even further. I'm not going to do that because that's going to mess up the test. Oh, then I've been rambling too much and I've been talking, so I'm going to say I think I probably stopped around maybe 2 minutes it took me to juice that much celery in the Green Star Pro. Alright, now we're going to juice in the Green Power juicer. Let's go ahead and hit the start button. It's going, and let's go ahead and get juicing. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to drop in the produce and check it out. It kind of goes in a little bit, and then we got to push it in a little bit. Let's take some of these small pieces here. Let's see if that sucks it in. Yeah, I mean, it almost sucks it in not quite as well. You know, as the larger twin gears, that's probably because of the smaller twin gears. So I'm going to probably have to, you know, do a little bit of work here. Now the challenge with this is that it looks like, oh, let's see what's going on. All right, so let's go ahead and speed this up for you guys, and we're going to come back at you when we're pretty much done. All right, we're down the last piece on the KPE-1304. And for a while I was putting things in and things were just coming back up at me at the feed chute. If this happens, no big deal. You want to loosen the outlet adjusting knob a little bit. And so I've been having to do that, but nonetheless things are still coming back up at me. And there's a lot, things just didn't quite feed as well into here. So let's see, we got the last item fed in and check it out, stop. This one actually took 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Maybe cut it down to 3 minutes due to my yabbing, but nonetheless it took an extra minute to juice in the KPE-1304 due to the smaller gears running and due to things coming back up at me and just not being quite as easy to juice, alright? Once again, if I look down in there, I'm seeing some pulp, so that, you know, so we're just going to go ahead and loosen this. A couple clicks here, see if that helps it to funnel everything through. And it doesn't look like it's helping things go through too much more. So I think that's pretty much it. It's still got some juice dripping out, but we're going to go ahead and shut that guy off. And now what I want to do for you guys, actually, we're going to go ahead and measure the yields. So to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to take two exactly the same measuring cups. And I'm going to use a sieve here to strain out any kind of particulate or fiber that the juicer did put into the juice. So you guys can see which machine actually made a higher yield and which one made more fiber or pulp in the juice. And I like to always tip the machine up, you know, backwards and frontwards to make sure I get any juice drips. And then once I pull out the container, I'll put the pulp catch bin below. And let's go ahead and pour this juice out very carefully so we not drip anything. Some really nice celery juice coming right out of the Green Star Pro. Alright, it looks like we got all that there. Shake that down a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and get the juice out of the KPE-1304. And I do like that this actually cup has a little pour spout thing on it. Kind of cool. Now I will say that the KPE-1304 definitely to me seems like it made a lot more foam, you know, as it juiced, and that's probably because of the higher RPM. In addition, you know, there's actually significantly more pulp that was created by the juicer itself, which I don't know if I measured it when I originally did this test many years ago. So we're going to go ahead and shake that down. And just for giggles, we're just going to go ahead and weigh the pulp here for you guys. Let's see here, 0. And so the pulp on this guy weighs 97 in the sieve, and I'm going to expect the sieves to weigh the same amount and this guy weighs 109. You know, wait, let's go ahead and do that. So that's 27 grams of pulp that direction. And let's see, go ahead and zero that out, and 27, and then we got 14, so almost twice as much pulp with my scientific method here, all right? And now let's go ahead and measure the juices and to see which juicer actually made more juice. All right, let's go ahead and compare the juices over on the Green Star Pro side. Looks like we have about 550 milliliters of juice approximately. And then if we go over to the Green Power KPE-1304, looks like we have basically right about 525. So it looks like the Green Star Pro actually made 25 more milliliters of juice. So that's not super significant. But what is significant in my opinion is the color of the juice. I use the same exact celery, one stalk of celery in each bowl when I was weighing them out. And if we look at the color of the juice, this is the Green Star Pro. And then if we look at the Green Power KPE-1304, look at the juice. Can you guys see the difference in color? I mean, I saw that when it was juicing, the color difference, but if we compare those side by side, I don't know if you guys could see that. But to me, the color of the juice on the Green Star Pro actually is a little bit lighter, whereas the Green Power is a little bit darker. So, you know, I'll explain why I think that is in just a second. So as you guys just saw, the Green Star Pro made a little bit higher yield, not significantly different, but it also did make lighter colored juice. And in my opinion, the deeper colored juice in the Green Power juicer is because of the higher RPM and because it basically put more oxygen, or into the juice. Which then causes more oxidative damage, which causes the celery to turn basically the browning. So this is a browning effect in my opinion. This is not an effect of pulling out more because it's darker. Sometimes if it's darker, it could be more nutrients, but sometimes if it's darker, it's more oxidation. I'm getting the sense this is oxidation for my personal opinion, because as I saw the juice come out, it was already more brown, and plus because the juice is just sitting and spinning inside, it's basically getting introduced with more air. So if you want a higher quality juice, I'd say go with the Green Star Pro here. Now we're going to go ahead and taste test the juice here. A little bit of the Green Star Pro juice. That's quite good. And we're going to do a little bit of the Green Power juice. I can't taste any discernible difference. You know, if you're a super taster, you might say, this one tastes better than that one because I taste the oxidation. I'm not going to tell you guys that. I'm going to tell you that they both taste good to me. And meanwhile, I got to drink 16 ounces of this stuff from my medical medium, daily juice that I'm doing. The other one will get saved under vacuum. Check the link down below for how I save my juices under vacuum. You can store it for up to several days. Generally, I like to make celery juice maybe like today, and then I'll have it for the next day, and maybe the next day after that. Of course, you want to use the best juicer to make the celery juice. According to this test, I'd say definitely it's the Green Power Pro, or if you don't want to spend the money for the Pro, at least get the Elite. It has a longer warranty than the Green Power juicer, made a higher yield in this situation. In addition, it has a more durable motor, and the other thing is that it's going to be easier to clean. Here's the pulp that was created on both machines here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that real fast. And this is quite interesting. I don't know if you guys could see the difference in color. You guys see the color difference in that? This celery is almost like, really like light green. And if you look at this celery, it's a lot more darker green. So this is the celery that came out of this guy. And so to me, this means that this machine, because it's the same exact celery I used, basically pulled out more of the nutrition, more of the liquid. And so that's why this is a lighter color. But if I squeeze it yet, I can still see there's good juice in there. That's why I said you could always put the celery pulp back through the machine to get further extraction. Wow, and this one actually has a lot more juice in it. So I'm going to be sure to rejuice that. So that could be a color difference as well. Let's see, grinding up the pieces. Let's see if we see like celery fibers inside here, celery fibers inside here. I'd say the Green Power Pro probably did a little bit better in grinding, not significantly, but a little bit better in the overall grinding aspect. So the overall winner in this instance is the Green Star Pro or Green Star Elite, based on the yield, also based on the pulp, and based on the color and the less oxidation of the juice. So if you guys are looking for a twin gear juicer, I would encourage you guys to get the Green Star Elite or Green Star Pro. Definitely a winner in my book. Also, it's going to be easier to clean because of the larger passageways. And this machine does take a little bit of time to clean. Let's go ahead and show you guys actually what you will need to clean on this machine. So we're going to pop these guys out. And if we take this guy apart, you can see here we have the juicing screen here, which we have pulp basically stuck inside the juicing screen. And then we basically have the gears here that have some pulp, but these are stainless steel, so just rinse them under water. All that's going to come out. And this casing here, it's fairly clean of pulp. And so, this might take me a couple, 4 or 5 minutes to clean, not super difficult. And once again, rest assured when you're using the Green Star Pro or Elite, you're going to get some of the highest quality juice of any juicer out there. All right? So if you guys enjoyed this episode, I want to encourage you guys to support me and my work by making your purchase at discountjuicers.com. This allows me to continue to make these videos so I could basically compare and contrast all the different machines out there so that you guys know what truly is a better juicer or not. Also, be sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up if you want more videos with these two machines in the future. Also, be sure to share this video with others that might be looking for the best twin gear juicer to juice celery. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss out on my new upcoming episodes. I'm coming out every 5 to 7 days. You never know where I'll be learning or what new juicers I'll be comparing on my YouTube channel. Make sure you click the little bell so you get notified when my new videos come out. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge of refiner episodes at this time on this YouTube channel, comparing and contrasting all the different major brand juicers so that you guys can get the right one for you. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.